Hi, I'm Bob Adney from MacPhail, and I'm going to give you some tips for the 3 percussion etudes that are a part of the MMEA All-State Audition process this year. I'm going to give my tips in the order in the way that I think you might want to record these, so I'm going to begin with the timpani. And my first tip for the timpani is I think you should try to record it, try to rehearse it, playing it on a marimba or xylophone. If you play that etude and get a melodic sense of it first from the marimba or xylophone, I think you will like the way that you will transfer that information then to the timpani. Secondly, the rolls should be predefined in the timpani etude, and I found for me that the rolls were based in triplet. So the rolls that are notated as a quarter note, you would do 6 notes or 2 16th note triplets, and the rolls that are notated as a dotted quarter, you would do 3 16th note triplets, and I found that worked really well for me. When it comes to the marimba, I think it's really good to make sure that you are incorporating full strokes. So especially for any of the quarter note passages that you are really lifting off the instrument and trying to really pull out a really full, rich tone. And that's one of the difficulties, I think, kind of a fun difficulty for that etude, is keeping the dynamic up, because it's basically forte for the whole etude. So keeping that dynamic up by utilizing full strokes as much as possible, I think is a really great idea. Secondly, since that etude is not so fast, I think to play in the middle of all the black notes, and this would apply to whether you are playing on marimba or xylophone. Of course, you pick the mallets, but you're probably looking at a medium soft type marimba mallet for the marimba. And if you are playing on xylophone, I would look for something like a softer rubber ball, like a Musser M2, if I were playing on xylophone. Snare drum. My tips there include making sure that you are aware that, here again, the rolls need to be measured. And there's 2 different rolls that you play for the same value of notes. So for example, when you are doing your 8th note roll and you're in the piano dynamic, I would move my hands in the speed of 16ths, so that becomes a 5-stroke roll. When you have that same 8th note roll and you're at the mezzo forte dynamic, I would move my hands in the speed of 16th note triplet, so then that becomes a 7-stroke roll. I think if you adhere to the tempo that's requested and you utilize those 2 roll types at the 2 different dynamics, that will be a good way for you to go with that particular etude. Now, in general, I have some tips for everything. When you are working on this audition, try to spend equal amounts of time with each one of the etudes. So I set a timer and give myself 10 minutes of time to work on the snare drum, 10 minutes of time to work on the marimba, 10 minutes of time to work on the timpani, and that will keep your progress even, and you will notice the results of feeling good about the things that are hardest for you, because you're progressing with everything evenly. Secondly, I think it's really important that when you record these etudes, that this represents maybe, I don't know, the 20th time that you've recorded them. So your daily practice should include a recording of what you're doing, listen back to it, and then it's like whack-a-mole. What was wrong? Okay, get that fixed up, and it's by virtue of your own recording. Also work hard to tune up the snare drum to the sound that you like. Make sure the timpani are sounding good. Practice playing for other people. And please feel free to contact me through email. You can go to the MacPhail faculty directory. And if you have any questions or comments about these videos, I would love to hear them. Please get in touch with me. Good luck in your audition.